time for our checkup with our medical expert, Dr. Kohli.
Yeah, we want to ask Dr. Kohli about sleep awareness. This is Sleep Awareness Month, and the CDC says nearly 1 in 3 adults are not getting enough sleep. So let's start there. Like, what happens to our body when we aren't resting enough?
You know, it's so funny. Most of us think of sleep as a luxury, but it's actually a biological necessity. And when our days are busy, where do we cut time from our sleep? So think about all the things that happen to our body when we're sleeping. We don't age as much, we repair tissue damage, we fix our immune system, we reduce inflammation, our hormones set. So if you start chipping away at that sleep, you're talking about signing up for a whole host of chronic illnesses. The next day, your body actually goes into a stress response, so you tend to have a higher blood pressure, and it even stimulates our hunger hormones, so we tend to eat more. So you're talking about weight gain, obesity, cardiovascular disease, cancer, a whole host of things. So you guys know the magic number for sleep. How many hours?
7 to 8.
Perfect, 7 to 9. I love that. Yep, so you have to have at least the 7. You can't do, feast or famine. You can't fast during the week and sleep very little and then binge on the weekends. You really got to be getting that reliable amount every night.
Kind of makes sense. You feel better when you get a full night's sleep. So what's the #1 sleep stealing habit for adults?
I do it. I'm sure you guys do it. Screens before bedtime. Yeah. So if you think about what a screen does, and this is usually an hour before bedtime, you're stimulating your retina, which then goes to this little gland in your brain called the pineal gland, which senses light. And it tells your brain that it's morning, because our brain is designed to release wake-up chemicals in the morning when it sees light, and takes away our melatonin, which is our sleep chemical. So you're suppressing melatonin by stimulating the retina. Then on top of that, I tend to watch like a scary movie or something that stimulates me emotionally or cognitively. So then my brain sort of switches on, and then you're talking about chipping into your bedtime as well, so you're staying up a lot later.
Oh my, I do that all the time. In fact, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and whip out my phone for another 5 to 10 minutes.
Just to be sure to stimulate that retina.
It's so bad. I am the worst with sleep. But what about staying up late? As long as you're getting those 7 to 9 hours, is it okay if they're from midnight to 8?
Usually, but I wouldn't say past midnight, Alex. I would say you really want to make sure it's within about 30 minutes of that same bedtime every night, even on the weekends. And I tend to do this thing, this is called revenge bedtime procrastination, where you take revenge on your sleep because you say, wait, I didn't get enough free time today because of the kids or because of work or whatever, so I'm going to stay up. And it somehow makes us feel rewarded in the second, and it does. But that next day, you're really paying for it. So try to go to bed within about 30 minutes of the same time every night.
I've been starting to do that more as I become a parent, right? Because
Revenge
this is my alone time, right?
Yes.
So I can have a little bit of alone time, and then I steal the sleep. So what's the strongest sign that I'm not getting enough? How can I tell my body once?
Many signs. So if you need to snooze once or set multiple alarms, that's sign number 1. You wake up in the morning more than 1 serving of caffeine during the day, that's sign number 2. Okay, you're in a quiet room, or you're in a meeting, or you're watching a movie and you start to doze off or fall asleep when things are a little quiet, that's sign number 3. And then just irritability, crabbiness, fatigue, that's sign number 4. You're not getting enough sleep. So most of us are sleep deprived, so I really want us to be attuned to these signs.
I checked off 2
all
or
of them?
3 of those. I stay awake during meetings for the most part.
Well, thank goodness for that.
Yeah, I hope so.
We're still employed over here. So what about warning signs that maybe there is something bigger going on, whether that's perimenopause or a sleep disorder or something else that needs some attention?
This is really important because here in Colorado, we have a higher risk of something called sleep apnea, which is sleep disordered breathing. So sleep apnea means either your brain doesn't breathe normally at night, or your tongue or some part of your neck muscles get in the way and sort of obstruct your airway, prevent the air from getting in. So if someone is snoring at night, that's a big sign of obstructive sleep apnea. Usually the partner says that. If you notice that they stop breathing, you kind of have to nudge them to wake up. Oh, wow. These are apneic episodes. That's not the snoring that's made them stop breathing. It's that they're really not breathing. For yourself, if you wake up in the morning and you have morning headaches, or you're fatigued despite getting that 7 to 9 hours of sleep, these are all signs you have sleep apnea. And it's not just an inconvenient thing. It raises your risk for stroke, heart attack, and dementia. So it's really important, if you have any of those signs, you feel tired during the day, that you get a sleep study to make sure you don't have sleep apnea.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Was that on cue?
No, I think your brain just
I know.
All
we're
this talk
talking
about sleep, I caught myself.
So Alex, 3, 2, 1 rule for you.
Okay.
Because if you're yawning, you're sleep deprived, okay?
Oh my God.
So 3 hours before bedtime.
And you're telling me to put this away?
3 hours before bedtime.
Are you drinking coffee at this time of day?
Maybe.
Oh my gosh, I could never. I would be up until like
So
3
after 2
o'clock in the
p.m.,
morning.
no coffee.
You heard that?
No
Oh, it's
caffeine.
after, it is after 2.
And 3-2-1 rule. So 3 hours before bedtime, no heavy meals. So you got to finish your dinner 3 hours before
Oh, yeah,
bedtime.
correct.
No alcohol after that.
Oh, wait. Well, okay.
Well,
Yes.
yeah.
2 hours, no work. No work emails, no to-do lists, no kids' work, no nothing. And there you go again. And 1 hour before bedtime, no screens.
Great.
It's just all the talk about sleep.
I know, right? It
But
makes
no,
you
I do
tired.
feel I'm actually
need-
exhausted. Yes.
We all need more. Dr. Kohli, thanks.